We're continuing to go through the various modifiers, and for this one I put together some text, and usually I wouldn't want them overlapping, but I just did for this case to see what it does with the modifier we'll be using. I also converted this text to a mesh. You can do that by doing Alt-C, and I did mesh from curve. Actually, I think I'd undone that. There we go. Now when I tab into this, I can see that it's pretty messy on the inside here. Typically what we want for a good mesh is we want things to be quadrilateral, so we want 4 sides instead of triangles. There's some types of design and mesh building stuff where triangles are what you want to aim for. But as when we converted this, it created lots and lots of triangles. We're going to see if we can use our mesh modifier for today to kind of undo that a little bit. So I'm going to tab out of it. I'm going to go to modifiers. I'm going to go down to where it says remesh. I'm going to choose that, and we can see that it kind of didn't make it look as good as what it was, even though it wasn't great to start with. And I can change that by doing this octree depth and change that up a little bit. I find if I go past 7, I start to, well, in this case 7 made part of our thing disappear. But this one looks pretty good. And I'm going to leave the rest of this kind of the way it is. I'm going to hit apply. And now if I tab in, I can see that it resurfaced everything and it did a nice grid going all around. Now in general this would be more side loops than we need, but that's not a really big problem, and the thing is, depending on what you're doing with it, it can make it kind of nice for some of the things that you might use it for. But I'm going to actually tab out of this one, and I have another model that I'd made before. And I'm just going to get rid of this one by hitting delete. And so I used our Boolean operators to make kind of a little sphere out of this cube. And when I tab into this, this actually is not bad. Most of this is made from quadrilaterals, as I was saying before. Just the center ones are represented by triangles. It does kind of go a little bit odd there. But I thought I'd use this to go over some of the other modes of the remesh, because I've never really used this before today to try it out and see what it does. I can change the depth up again to get more detail, and we have sharpness, but right now mode is set to sharp. If I click on this, I can do smooth, and this looks kind of like almost a blurry version of the circle. I can, again, increase this to get a little bit more detail, and you see that it kind of averages out those sections. The one that I was having a little bit of fun with, though, is when I go back into this and do blocks, get nice, a nice kind of Minecraft-y almost sphere cut of this. And if I move down the depth, I can get various things happening here where I can actually see it a little bit differently as it cuts. And so I'm going to go up to, say, like that one, depth 6, and I'm going to hit apply. Now, when I tab in, I have this all very detailed remesh of this whole thing, and it's quite a lot of information and details. In fact, if I select everything here, I can see that I have 21,814 faces, and so just a lot of detail. And for a lot of things, this might be more than what you want, but kind of fun to play with and to try out.